So we're here at the strawberry patch. It's early part of July, and we're just gonna kind of go over what went right, which is about one thing this year, and then what went wrong, which might count beyond our two hands, I don't know. Yeah, so we had quite a year in the strawberry patch, and got Kyle Tester here, guy who's responsible for the one thing that did go right, and we'll be talking through what the year was like, because it was quite a ride. I do want to mention that the kind of synthesis of this year, if you were to sum it up into one action that happened, I would say it was that Kyle could not wait to get on the mower and chop these poor strawberries down. I mean, he literally was foaming at the mouth to get on that mower and chop them all down. So that kind of sums up the season pretty well. But Kyle, tell us about, what happened here.
Well, so we ran into a problem we never thought we were going to run into, which was too many berries. Last year, we got hit by a frost, lost probably 70% of the crop. I think we underestimated just how much we lost, given that we did end up having a decent amount. But I think we didn't quite realize how much we lost. And then we didn't open our store until June 20th, 22nd.
Something like that, yeah, last year.
Which is,
yep.
3/4 of the way through the strawberry season. And so the previous few weeks we had been picking as a crew, and I think we underestimated how much we had picked and then sold to Hy-Vees and places like that. So by the time June 20th came around last year, we were on the tail end of a frost-damaged crop, and it was a pandemic, so everybody was looking to get out of the house and get outside, and this was a good way to do it, socially distanced. And we'd be open for an hour and a half, and we'd have to close the patch down just because just get picked out so quick. So we were of the mindset that there's no way we could grow too many berries. We needed twice the field, and that we wouldn't have to get off our butts and pick any strawberries ourselves. And that turned out not to be the case. We had just a phenomenal crop. So I think the state average might be somewhere around 2,500, 3,000 pounds an acre. Is that what the...
That's what I was told, yep.
And we probably got upwards of 10. I'd say 10 or 11. It was a pretty heavy crop. And we quickly realized that we had to get out picking, but we didn't have that big of a crew. And yeah, just too many berries to pick up with, so I ended up not being able to get them all before they got a little overripe. But it was a good problem to have, I guess, for a little while. The kingberries looked good, and people were happy for a while, and seemed to go well for that.
I mean, joking aside, it was a phenomenally good year, and partly because, so in 2020, the reason we suffered a loss of maybe 70% is because of frost, which is the bane of every strawberry grower's existence. They tend to bloom pretty early and well before the chance of frost is over. Plus they're real wimps on frost, so they can't, a temperature, what we discovered this year is a temperature of like 35 up here at 5 foot is, well below freezing for the strawberries down at ground level. And that was a bit of a shocker, I think, for us. We did install a overhead sprinkler system for frost control, and we ran that 7, 8 times maybe.
There was 14 nights where we were up monitoring, and I think we ended up running at 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So.
And it saved the crop. I mean, it was a phenomenal crop. It was just loaded to the gills. Of course, the weather kind of turned on us a bit, because just about the time that this huge crop came ready, all of a sudden it got to be 90, 95 degrees every afternoon. And, by 11 o'clock, people are saying it's too dang hot to pick strawberries. So we lost a good chunk of the potential picking crowd, pick crowd, to the heat. And
I think it made the second and third wave almost catch up to the first wave. So instead of having it kind of staggered out, we had all these berries getting ready right at one time. The other thing was though it was nice and cool and sunny during fruit set. So that's another reason I think we had such a good crop, was it was just perfect fruit set weather for pollinators and just cool sunny temperatures. And
so we have 8 different varieties down through here ripening sequentially, and like Kyle said, this heat and intense sunlight just brought everything, it did 2 things. It brought everything kind of close together in terms of ripening, but it also turned stuff from just ripe to mush in no time, right? I mean, they just, and like Kyle said the other day, when he went to mowing this, his big excuse was, it smells like a brewery out there. There was so much fruit fermenting in the field. It was, yeah.
Oh, and I guess we should say, it's not, I'm not some horrible person. This is done every year after a strawberry harvest to mow it off. That's completely normal. There's diseases that can build up in the old leaves, so you mow it off and let it regrow. They're already starting to regrow 2-3 days after I mowed them off, so they'll put up with some abuse, which I'm more than glad to give them. So
yeah, and we are going to try next year stretching this. Usually in this system with a raised bed plasticulture, you're going to get 2 crops out of it, and in California in some places they do it just as annuals. They just get 1 crop and start it again. We're going to stretch it to a 3rd year and see how that goes. And yeah, we'll let you know. But right now,
this cheap son of a gun doesn't want to start her over again.
Yeah, he's really anxious to get out here and start it over again, I think. Yeah, we'll see how that is. But yeah, I mean, the crop was good. I will say the flavor of so we had this cool, wet early season during fruit set and beyond, even going in almost right up to the first.
It wasn't necessarily wet. It was because we have to run the frost protection so much.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we
drenched them. Good.
Yeah.
And then we did get some rains, and there was just a lot of water. So the first ones that we picked really didn't have very good flavor. They just didn't have any sugars, and they sized up nice. They looked all right, but they just didn't have a lot of flavor. But later on, I thought the flavor got really quite good. But that's about the time that it was so damn hot that nobody could stand to be out here picking, and Kyle and the crew they certainly earned their chops this year picking strawberries.
I'm gonna look forward to not seeing another strawberry till next June. So
So that's us here at the farm talking strawberries. Yeah, gluttons for punishment that we are. We also planted raspberries and blueberries, so now instead of just worrying about strawberries and the weather and the crowds and the U-pick, we're going to have to do that all over again for raspberries and then for blueberries. So yep, not the brightest bunch around here, but stay tuned. We're more than happy to share what goes right, what goes wrong. All in all, I think, financially it was a very good season for us, better than we would have expected. And like I said, or like you said, I mean, compared to the state average, people said if we could pick 6,000 to 8,000 pounds, if we could produce 6,000 to 8,000 pounds per acre, we'd be lucky. And we blew past that this year. It was just not even close. So stay tuned for more exciting success stories to come. Take care, and thanks for watching.